What happens when discipline meets disrespect? Watch how one man turned chaos into an opportunity for change. It was supposed to be just another evening. The golden hues of the setting sun bathed the small park in Charleston, South Carolina. In a warm glow, joggers paced along the paths. Families picnicked under the trees, and children laughed as they played on the swings. Among the lively scenes sat Marcus Bennett, a man whose presence didn't demand attention, but often caught it nonetheless. Seated on a weathered wooden bench, Marcus sipped from a water bottle, his calm demeanor standing in stark contrast to the park's bustling energy. Life, he believed, was best enjoyed in quiet, simple moments. But peace doesn't always last. From the corner of his eye, Marcus noticed a group of teenagers loitering near the basketball court. Their laughter wasn't the joyous kind. It was sharp, mocking, and tinged with malice. Marcus recognized the tone immediately. It was the laughter of people looking for a target. And today, Marcus was their choice. "Yo, big guy," one of them shouted, loud enough to cut through the chatter of the park. The leader of the group, a wiry teenager with a buzzed haircut and a cocky smirk, pointed toward Marcus. "What's up with heavyweight over there? Ain't it gym day?" The others burst into laughter, their voices carrying across the park. Marcus's heart didn't skip a beat. He had heard this kind of taunt before, too many times to count. His thick skin wasn't just a figure of speech. It was armor forged by years of enduring ridicule. But armor doesn't mean the hits don't hurt. He considered brushing it off, letting the moment pass like so many others before it. But something in the air shifted, a tension that told him ignoring it wouldn't be enough this time. What Marcus didn't know was just how far things would escalate and how much he would reveal about himself in the moments that followed. Marcus Bennett was a man of quiet contrasts. At first glance, he seemed unassuming, a man in his early 40s with a soft build, dressed simply in a faded sweatshirt and sneakers. Yet there was a quiet strength about him, a calm that hinted at a richer, more complex history. In his 20s, Marcus had been a skilled martial artist, competing in regional Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournaments. The discipline taught him patience, focus, and control, qualities that had shaped much of his life. But in recent years, life had dealt him heavy blows. After losing his wife in a tragic car accident, Marcus fell into a spiral of grief. Using food as a way to cope, he left competitive fighting behind, retreating into a quieter existence. Though his physique had changed, his discipline had not. Early mornings in his garage, practicing drills on a worn mat, and shadowboxing in the dim light were his private rituals. Few people knew about this side of Marcus. To the world, he was just a quiet man who enjoyed walks in the park. The park was his sanctuary, a place to feel connected to the world without being overwhelmed by it. But not everyone shared his sense of peace. Charleston's charm didn't make it immune to trouble. Recently, a group of teenagers had been making headlines for causing disruptions in public spaces. They weren't hardened criminals, just reckless kids who found power in numbers and chaos. To them, Marcus seemed like an easy target, a big, slow-moving guy sitting alone. But their assumptions couldn't have been more wrong. The gang's mocking laughter grew louder as they approached Marcus's bench. There were 4 of them, each emboldened by the presence of the others. Their leader strutted forward with exaggerated confidence, his voice cutting through the ambient hum of the park. "Hey, big guy, you deaf? Or are you just ignoring us?" he called out. Marcus looked up slowly, his expression calm and unreadable. Taking a deliberate sip from his water bottle, he placed it beside him on the bench. Years ago, he might have snapped back, but age and experience had taught him the value of control. "I heard you," Marcus replied evenly. "What do you want?" The leader's smirk widened. "What do we want? Maybe some tips on how to bulk up like you. That's a lot of weight to carry around. How do you even get off the couch?" The group erupted into laughter again, their voices grating and relentless. Marcus didn't flinch, though his patience was wearing thin. Then one of the boys, a wiry teen with a backward baseball cap, stepped forward and shoved Marcus lightly on the shoulder. "You're in our park, man," the boy sneered. "Maybe you should keep walking before we make you." The shove was light, but it carried intent. Marcus could feel the heat rising in his chest, but he forced himself to stay calm. "I'm not looking for trouble," Marcus said, his voice steady. "Just let me enjoy my evening, and I'll leave you to yours." But bullies don't back down when they think they've found easy prey. The leader picked up Marcus's water bottle and threw it to the ground, the contents spilling across the pavement. "Oops," he sneered. "Looks like your evening just got worse." Marcus stood up slowly, his full height towering over the group. For a brief moment, he saw hesitation flicker in their eyes, but it passed as quickly as it came. They weren't afraid of size. They were counting on Marcus not fighting back. "This is your last chance," Marcus said, his tone firm but calm. "Walk away." The leader laughed, though it sounded forced. "Or what? You gonna sit on us?" One of the boys lunged, reaching for Marcus's arm. The move was sloppy, untrained, a mistake Marcus recognized instantly. Sidestepping smoothly, Marcus caught the boy's wrist and twisted, sending him sprawling to the ground. The gang's laughter stopped cold. The other boys rushed at Marcus, their confidence bolstered by numbers. But years of training had ingrained reactions into Marcus's muscle memory. A punch came from the left. Marcus ducked and swept his leg, sending the attacker stumbling. Another boy charged from the right, fists flailing. Marcus caught his arm and twisted it into a controlled lock, bringing him to his knees. The leader hesitated, his bravado cracking as he watched his friends crumble. "What the hell, man?" he barked, his voice shaking. "You think you're some kind of ninja?" Marcus didn't respond. His movements were deliberate, his breath steady. The last boy grabbed a stick from the ground and lunged at Marcus. Waiting until the last second, Marcus sidestepped and disarmed him with a swift motion. The stick clattered to the pavement as the boy stumbled backward, his confidence shattered. The leader, now visibly panicking, held up his hands. "All right, man, we're done. You made your point." Marcus stepped forward, his towering frame casting a shadow over the leader. His voice was calm, but carried the weight of authority. "No, you're not done. Not yet," Marcus said. "Strength isn't about ganging up on someone you think can't fight back. That's cowardice." The leader's bravado was gone, replaced by fear. "We didn't mean anything by it," he muttered. "You meant every word," Marcus replied. "But now you're learning that actions have consequences." He stepped back, giving them space. "Pick up your friend and get out of here. Next time, prove yourself by doing something that actually matters." The gang scrambled to help their fallen friend, muttering apologies as they stumbled away. As silence returned to the park, Marcus noticed the crowd that had gathered. Parents who had pulled their children close began to loosen their grips. Runners slowed their pace, and conversations resumed. An older man in a faded baseball cap approached. "That was something else," he said. Marcus nodded, unsure of what to say. He wasn't looking for recognition. A young woman holding a toddler stepped forward. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I'm fine," Marcus replied. From the edge of the park, someone clapped. Others joined in, the applause carrying a mix of admiration and gratitude. Marcus felt his cheeks warm. Later, a teacher named Angela approached him. "What you did today was more than self-defense," she said. "Those boys have been harassing people for weeks. Maybe they needed to learn they're not invincible." Marcus sighed. "I hope they take this as a wake-up call. But what they really need is someone to show them a better way." Angela smiled. "Maybe that someone is you." The next day, Marcus visited the local community center and proposed a self-defense and mentorship program for troubled youth. Sometimes, change starts with one moment. If this story inspired you, take a moment to think about how you can make a difference in your own community. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of courage and compassion.